Hello, I'm M.K. Davis. I want to talk a little bit about the Patterson film and some, I hate to call it new information because the Patterson film was shot, 58 years ago. But it is new to a lot of the researchers, and it may be pertinent to understanding the film, actually. So it's well worth looking into. Let me I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. See this braid right here? There it is, a close-up of it. You see it's got a herringbone pattern, goes to a sharp tip. It shows in that particular frame because of the angle of the sun and the wind blowing the braid out over the ear and it hanging down on the cheek in the front. But the significance of the braid, I don't think I've ever discussed. Maybe because I didn't know it. But I do know now what the significance of the braid is. I don't want to get into all my sources or anything like that, but I will tell you this, that my sources originate with Native Americans. Native Americans who recognized this for what it was, and they had a name for it. And when they called the name, I was able to do an investigation into the name, and I was sort of shocked at the relevance. The name that they used to call this braid was a name from another place, another land. It wasn't their language. And it meant several things. The way that these people talked, that there would be multiple meanings for one word. In other words, when you look at the one word, you're looking at a whole sentence, not just one word. And I just tell you what it means. And one of the meanings for that word is the people behind the mountain. So you're looking at the people behind the mountain when you look at Patty. And there's another meaning to it that it's called one who knows the way. One who knows the way. Presumably to the other side of the mountain. Now let me go to some other files I have here. You see that braid? This is no enhancement at all, but you can still see the braid shaking on the cheek as I rock the file back and forth. Let's go down a little bit. Braid shake animation. There we go. This is a little more contrast boosted. You can see right here the braid shaking as I rock it back and forth, the mouth opening. You can see the ear. This is the braid itself, the braid alone that's been boosted. The contrast. This is something I did years ago. I've been knowing that she had a braid for that long, but these Native Americans, when they saw it, they instantly recognized not only what it was, but its significance. That this was the one who knows the way. That if you saw this individual, if you saw Patty, and you saw this braid, and you would if you were standing in front of her, you would know that she was the one to follow to the other side of the mountain. What's up there? Why? Why is she the one to follow? Let's just take a look at this. Let's see. I have to find it. Give me a minute. It has to find it. It didn't come up no faster than that. I've got to look somewhere else. No, wrong one. Okay, this is unabridged here, so I have to go find the one I've got clipped out. Okay, here we go. What I'm looking for is the Go Road, information on the Go Road. Here it is. It came right up. Now, in case you don't know what the Go Road is, it's a road they were constructing. They were constructing this road on the ridge above Bluff Creek. And this road was going through what they call sacred Indian land. Why was this land sacred? Well, they try to tell you right here. The Gasket to Orleans Road. That's the name of this article. The Siskiyou Mountains are a small range in northwest California and southwest Oregon. In the southern part, they contain parts of the Klamath and Smith River watersheds. These watersheds are the traditional homelands of several Native American tribes, including the Yurok, Karuk, and Tolowa tribes of Northern California. These tribes have considered the high country to be of a special spiritual importance since times predating recorded history. Two of the rocks at the peaks of the high country are now called Dr. Rock and Chimney Rock. Dr. Rock was called Medicine Rock at one time. At about 4,000 feet. This region is held to be the center of the spiritual universe because it is believed that the original inhabitants of the world who left just as who? Humans appeared. The original inhabitants of the world who left just as the humans appeared climbed up through holes in the sky. And these high peaks are the last places they set foot on earth. Hence the high concentration of spiritual powers here. And even today, they train shamans, medicine men, on those high peaks. They go up there and they fast, and they try to have a vision or guidance. But that is the reason why these peaks, these two peaks especially, are sacred. They're so sacred. And I've got all the articles on this as well, that the local native people there would hold hands and try to block the entrance into the woods or forest by logging or other types of equipment, road building equipment. They would try to block it. They would just simply say, "Run over me. I dare you." I'd say that was pretty important to them. The medicine people are spiritual leaders and are an integral part of the culture. Although few individuals ever enter in these areas, they are of incalculable value to the entire society. One night, on one of my trips in 2009, I was there in a little campsite called Louse Camp along the Bluff Creek drainage. In the middle of the night, I heard chanting filtering down through the valley along Bluff Creek from off the peaks. So I know this is true. Now, let me get out of this. This is a pretty rough place too. You might run into something like this on the go road, and this is on a good day. And it stays closed much of the year, and it's a hazardous road. These things, something like this could happen just on a spur of the moment. Documentary file open with see, I have all this, so I know it's true. I've talked to these people. I've talked to this Mr. Leif Hillman. This morning, the Klamath Justice Coalition used a human blockade of 15 people to defend Karuk sacred sites from logging activities. The action took place near Orleans, California, within the Six Rivers National Forest, and halted work on the Orleans Community Fuels Reduction Plan. The OCFR is actually the Orleans Culture and Forest Reduction Plan, said Leif Hillman, a Karuk ceremonial leader in Orleans. Below are the press releases from the Klamath Justice Coalition and the Karuk tribe. Okay, now let's get back to Patty and this unusual hair style here, this braid that these other native peoples recognized almost instantly. And the word for that braid was not braid. It was not even their language. It was from a language far away, but they knew it. and it meant people from the other side of the mountain. Those sacred peaks that they climbed through holes in the sky as the humans approached. They didn't call them humans. They were human, sort of. But the climbing through holes in the sky, it's hard to grasp what they're talking about. But I don't believe for 1 minute that they're not telling the absolute truth. So whenever Patty, and let me go back over here. Let's see. Whenever they came upon Patty, she was wearing what native people also call a scalp lock. That braid is called a scalp lock. It is significant. No other Bigfoot in that area has that braid. And it means the one who knows the way. And they're not talking about some way that everybody knows. They're talking about a secret way. A secret way to the other side of the mountain that only she knows. And all the others that were with her were following her. That's what that braid means. She immediately knows that she can't take, these two dudes and let them follow her up that mountain. So she takes off upstream. The others go into hiding. There's nothing insignificant on this film. I would have never, ever come anywhere close to figuring out what that braid meant anything had not Native Americans spoke up. They could have just kept their mouth shut, been silent. We would not have known this. I know this from the film. You can see the glutes in these three frames. The gluteus maximus is the rear end, the whole divided rear end. People used to complain because they thought a pillow was in a suit and they couldn't see any cleft. But they just didn't look. It was there on the film. But what it tells me is that each side has the hair worn off on the inside. And therefore she must be staying somewhere where there's a low overhead, where she has to scoot on her rear end a significant portion of the time. So, more and more things are elucidated from that film. She is the one who knows the way. If you're going to find the way, you're going to follow her. Then they climb through holes in the sky. What is that? Maybe somebody can let us know if they know. A lot of things, imagination runs wild there, but I don't think that the fact that they did that is imagination. So, whatever, it's clear to me that the event that happened down there interrupted what they were doing. It interrupted them. So the people that were with, they call them the other people. That's what a lot of native people refer to them as, the other people. And the other people that were with her didn't make it to the top, didn't make it to the other side in a secret way, didn't climb through holes in the sky and depart the earth. And that's about all I have to say. That's something that fits the film. It fits the film. So much down through the years did not. There's things that did not fit the film. It didn't work when you tried to plug it in. This works. We'll find out some more. And I thank you for your time.